Alrighty, so in this video here, I'd like to show you how we put in the cluster lights in a garland. This is a great way to add lights to any garland, whether it's pre-lit or you just have an unlit garland that you want to add lights to. So my favorite light strand is the clusters. We've sold these over the years because of how popular they are, but also how easy to use they can be. And so you can just open up this box here of clusters. This is a 25-foot light strand, and it's got 760 lights on this strand, and so about every foot there is 30 lights, and so this really makes a great way of adding a lot of lights really fast. We call them speed lighting because you can light anything really fast. So let me go ahead and get this undone and we can plug it in and kind of show you how cool these things are. These are rated for 50,000 hours, and so that is 6 months, 12 hours a day for 25 years. Kind of unravel these. They're very durable. They're LEDs. They take hardly any electricity, and also they are not easy to tangle. You kind of see how easy they are to get started. This is my garland. It's a 9-foot garland. This is great for going over a fireplace, a mantle. Also, you can kind of wrap poles with them. And so they're very easy to work with. And so what I'm going to do is take this unlit garland and put some cluster lights in them. And so these are very easy to work with. We have these already made up here in the showroom, but I'm going to kind of show you a little tutorial on how to put these lights together. So the first thing I do is try to get the garland on a flat surface on a table, and try to be able to kind of flatten out these branches to where they're just a long line here, but then kind of spanning out these branches to where they're just wide here. And so this will take a little bit of time, but once you do it, you don't have to mess with it year after year, because I'll show you how to store it and put it away. These are good to wear gloves for because they're kind of prickly, but I like to do it without gloves at times just so I've got a little bit better of a feel of what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of laying these needles out flat. And I'll take and add the cluster lights to it once these are lined out. So the cluster lights we sell for indoor applications as well as exterior. So you can light up your Christmas tree, you can light up the garland, you can do it on bushes, you can do it outside in bushes, you can do it around light poles, you can even go around the roof line and outline things with it. But what I really like about it is putting it in the greenery. And so the greenery you can put inside or outside because the lights are very durable. But you can also put them on the inside and add some decorations into the garland after it's all lit. So I've got just a few more branches here I'm going to flatten out, and then we can add the lights to it. So I like to have these flat because I'm going to take these lights and kind of weave it back and forth in a snake pattern. So I'm going to take the end of my clusters, I'm going to take and attach it to the garland here on the end, and I'm going to take the beginning of the strand, and attach it to the beginning of the garland on the other side. And so one thing I like about doing it this way is that we can find the middle of our cluster light strand at this point and attach it to the middle of the garland. And so, kind of stretch this out here, find the middle, and then attach it here in the middle. And what that'll do is actually give us a halfway point. As we're putting these lights in, we'll kind of see here if we have a good distribution of lights. If it's got too much or too little, well, then we can kind of backtrack and make it a little bit better. So then I'll take this half section, find the halfway point, and do likewise. So that way I can have that nice even distribution of lights. On attaching the actual lights, what you can do is you can take and twist the needles around the wire and attach it in. That way it's there year after year. So I'll take and kind of zigzag these back and forth. So I do this quite a bit, so it's pretty fast for me, but I bet you could do it in a pretty good time as well. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to come on in and ask a Pro Lights associate, and we can show you how to do it. Or you can come in and just grab it already done. But what I really like about these lights is that it's going to be nice and full, a lot of lights per linear foot, and then they're LED, so they're going to last you for many seasons. So I'm kind of just going through here and just zigzagging it back and forth. Some people will ask, well, can we just go around the garland? You know, just wrap it around? I don't like to do that because you're going to put lights behind the garland, and I like to have everything on the surface. Same thing with the wreaths. We have tutorials on how to put these lights in wreaths as well. And as I put these lights in, I'll come back and tie them off every 6 inches to a foot or so. And that way I can just leave the lights in and only do this project one time. So I'm here towards the end of the 9-foot garland. And I've got 760 lights, a 25-foot cluster light strand. So I've got this kind of zigzagged through, and then now I'm going to come through every foot or so and just take 2 of these tips and tie the strands in so that they'll stay. And so once that's done, then these lights will stay on, and you can put it, like I said, on a mantle, on the light pole outside. You can wrap it around different columns, and it'll work out pretty good. So now that I have them tied off, the garland is fairly shaped now. It's got a nice little fluff to it, and you can just put it straight onto your application. And for storage, what you want to do is actually just kind of lay these tips flat like we had originally, and then I'll just roll it up. That way, whenever you get it out next year, it'll be ready just to unroll and give it a little minor shape. So I'll take and just lay them flat and then roll it up pretty tight. If I get the roll started pretty tight to begin with, then I can just kind of make it into a nice little roll. And then we have this here. And so if you ever come in and get one of these, this is how it'll look whenever you buy it. It'll be kind of tied into a little roll just like this here. And then you can just unroll it and put it wherever you may want to put it. So this is a 9-foot garland with a 25-foot cluster light strand. Warm white is the color, and we have different colors with the cluster lights. And so you can do this in a 9-foot garland, different wreaths. A 36-inch wreath is what we use the same amount of lights for. We can also do the bigger wreaths, the 48-inch, the 60, and the 72. But if you have any questions, come on in and see us. We'd love to help you out any way we can.